Yo.
What's going on, everybody? Coming at you live and direct on Swissbeatbox right here. Thank you for tuning in. We're on another live stream talking about Grand Beatbox Battle 2023. We're going to be talking about the producer wildcard winners. Very exciting. I've seen that there's a lot of people in the chat right now, growing up, blowing up. It's going to be good, everybody. So once again, welcome to the stream. It's your boy Scott Jackson, and we're going to be. Oh, who is this? Cosmix is saying I forgot something, and now I've remembered. Never forget. We're here live once again. But GBB23 producer wildcard winners wild stream. And let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. I'm going to introduce a few of our guests that we have with us right now. First and foremost, the man behind this song that you can hear. Give it up for the one, the only, Sinjo. That was very exciting. How you doing this morning, Sinjo?
I'm good. As you guys might have seen on the Instagram, we had some stuff come out, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's been my whole world for the last 24 hours. But other than that, you know, great. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited for this stream, to be honest.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to go and see who the winners were for this brand new category in GBB, and we'll talk to you in a second about that other stuff. But once again, Sinjo, everybody. Next up, we do have judges with us. I'm going to go with the judge that you can currently see on your screen. We'll talk about some other stuff with him as well, but the one, the only, make some noise for T.O. Neb. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Everyone's so excited this morning. Got that energy. Got that coffee going. Let's roll. And yeah, T-Neb, again, you've had to go and make some hard decisions about this category. We'll be talking about that, but it's good to see your lovely face, man. And I know that I'm also looking forward to coming up. I believe it's in April, if I'm not mistaken, but the Florida Beatbox Battle's coming back as well. So I'm very excited because we got 2 Canadians in on that.
Yes. Vino and Den.
Correct. Big shouts to Vino and Den. Big shouts to Canadian boys. But once again, we have T-Neb as a judge, and below to the side of me, I believe on the screen that you guys are watching, it'll be my bottom left corner. We have Scary SpongeBob, aka the one, the only. Give it up for Beardy Man.
Hello, I am Beardy Man. That's who I am.
This is excellent. I want this to be how it is. Thank you very much for joining us, man. I know that you're running around and doing a lot of stuff and making sure that you're spending a little bit of time and trying to get on here and helping out and staying low as much as possible. But everybody, Beardy Man, true legend.
Yay me. No, sorry, yeah, it is an honor to be involved in this. Yeah, I'm going to be jumping in and out of this Zoom. I essentially am like trying to rein in the chaos of Saturday family life, but this category, I feel like this is a kind of family thing for me too. You know, this is a huge deal for live production, that there is now a competition to see who can be the best live production with like no holds barred in terms of technology. I hope you can take me seriously with the SpongeBob profile picture, but like I really mean this. I think this is a really huge, cool thing for music in general and the beatbox community. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well said, man. It's good to hear your voice. And again, thank you very much for taking the time, because lo and behold, people that are watching around the world, who would have thought that people have family and lives outside of the beatbox world stage? So I appreciate when you're taking the time to go and join us, my friend. Once again, Beardy Man in the stream. So, the other judges that could not join us today, everybody's busy with life as well, but we're going to go and give big shouts to ZD, Inky, and Tom Thumb. Excuse me, every now and then you get a little sneeze as well. But we have 5 judges that were making the decisions. We have now the official winning list that's in front of me right now. Before we jump through it, I want to go and talk to Sinjo about 2 things. One, can you go and give a breakdown, because this is a brand new category for GBB. Can you give a breakdown of what was looked for in these wild cards, and just an overall breakdown about this new thing for GBB, the producer section. Sinja, what's up?
Sure. Similar to Beardy Man, this is a category that's quite close to my heart. I come from a background of producing, so limitations in music for me has always been a bit silly, except if you're trying to achieve a certain goal. And this kind of brings together the technology that's developed in the last years, where like things like loop station have come so far. And we had these extra device categories, and we realized like the difference between the solo loop category, like loop station without an extra device battles, and the loop station with an extra device battles, music-wise was fairly similar, yet there was a clear difference in the community in terms of what people wanted, like especially from a judge perspective, to be able to judge a battle in a loop station category with a variety of different devices that people had made it quite difficult. So the idea behind the producer category is kind of to solve these problems and move forward in the right way. So we split it into loop station on its own, and then producer category, which basically allows you to do whatever you want, as long as it's within the realms of vocally sourced or vocally triggered. So we did, of course, because it's a beatbox battle, we wanted to keep some kind of limitation and keep it focused around beatbox. So one of the main concepts in the judging was the more everything was vocally sourced, the better you would score overall. But then there is, of course, the differentials between that and having a very complex technical setup as well. So you could always balance it out, but generally speaking, the idea is to do a vocal performance using technology. So the more that you used your voice in the original sounds, the more that was kind of judged higher. That's the easiest way to explain it without getting too complicated into the details. But I'm super excited to see what people have come up with, because production has been my favorite area, and the production value I've seen so far. I saw a little snippet here and there. I haven't really watched any Wildcards, but I saw some snippets of some stuff, and it sounded pretty amazing. So I'm excited to see what people have made with this new exciting category.
I would just love to say that I think some discussion about what Sinja just mentioned would be apposite and helpful for the future of this category and
definitely
for live production in general. Because, like, I mean, I personally, when I'm, performing, doing this kind of thing, I have these same rules anyway, which is that it all just has to be my voice, and I have to be able to kind of explain and honestly report that it is my voice. So, yeah, without getting too lost in detail, some of what you'll see from this category is unbelievable, because they're doing essentially they're doing synthesis using the voice as a starting oscillator, basically, like crazy granular synthesis, all this kind of stuff. And actually, as judges on our little WhatsApp group, we've been going backwards and forwards, being like, nah, that can't be their voice, can they? And we all do this for a living, but still the level was so next that we just couldn't believe what we were hearing. So yeah, we should discuss this on a per video basis as we see them. But this category is crazy.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous how far it's come. And yeah, having those conversations with the judges was also eye-opening to see, like, wow, what these people are actually doing is on another level. So yeah, it's going to be a tough battle, but I think we're going to see some really amazing performances. And I already know who's qualified, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's a pretty amazing list, and I'm pretty happy to see what's going to happen there.
Absolutely. It's nice to go and hear your voice, as well as having Beardy Man going and throwing his sense in there as somebody who does this day in, day out. And it's nice to go and hear that excitement of a new category and you guys bring it to fruition and actually having it push forward into the GBB. So I appreciate all the hard work all you guys put in there to go and make this actually happen. So thank you very much once again to our judging panel and Sinjo pushing this forward for a brand new thing. And I'm ready to get my mind blown. Yeah. And I can go and see too that there's a lot of good people in the stream. I want to go and give a big shout out to, I believe Sonus is in there, if I'm not mistaken. So big respects. Sonus is in the stream. And Brez, let's go.
Hey, I just spotted Brez. So I do have, before we get started, I'm sorry guys, I know everyone in the chat is fiending at the bit to get into this, but we've waited this far. We can wait another 5 minutes, I think. I do want to, hey, shout out to Paul in the stream. Miss you, mate. So if any of you have gone to our Instagram in the last 10, 15 minutes, you might have seen a post that we've put up there. I was made aware last night that there was some mistakes made in the judge panel, which I'm going to be honest was complete human error on my part. My worst nightmare come to fruition, to be honest. As some of you might have noticed in the last couple of streams, I was quite exhausted and tired. That's because I'd spent a lot of time trying to double check these rankings, and I was pretty devastated last night when I found out that I'd made a mistake. And so we've just been putting together I actually went back through all my scores and checked everything again twice, spent all night doing that, and making sure that the ranks are correct now. So if you go over to our Instagram, we've made a post. I can summarize it here. Basically, Remix is now qualified for the solo category, moving up to, let me get the actual results in front of me so I don't make a misquote in the stream. He's now moving up to, where is it here? To 20th place. And Yamori is also qualified now at 24th place. What that essentially does is it moves the bottom two down. That's Given and Hippie to 26th and 27th. But because we've already told them they qualified, it would be really unfair to tell them that they can't compete. So what we're doing now is allowing them to compete as well, which gives us the top 27 for the solo category. So that's the main affected areas. Also, there was a mistake in the overall ranking for Loop. I missed one of the scorecards for 808 Bannon. So he now moves up to rank 21. Unfortunately, we only take the top 20. So at this moment, he's still not qualified technically for round 2, which I'm really sad about because his wildcard was amazing. Shout out to 808 Bannon. But yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone who's been so supportive and understanding through this. I know it's been a tough one, and it's always hard to see your favorite not make through, especially when it was a mistake on our part. And I really want to say a big shout out to the Reddit thread, specifically, I think it's CROO, Reddit user. He put together a big sheet and spent, I know how long it takes to put together those points. I've been doing it for the last weeks. So he did a lot of effort to add up those scores and actually check. And without that help, we might not have caught it. So I really appreciate the work and for everyone calling us out and keeping us honest. You've made 2 beatboxes very happy, I'm sure. So yeah, thanks for understanding, guys. And again, I apologize from the bottom of my heart for making that mistake. It was just a genuine error. Thanks for hearing me out. Anyway, so now we can get on to a bit more positive stuff and listen to some qualified wildcards. Yeah. I hope that covers it. Awkward silence.
I still love you, Sinjo. I've always loved you.
Yes. Who was that?
It was I, the princess of Beatbox.
Let's just go.
Bro, that threw me off so hard.
By my flute shall thee be healed.
Oh, God. I love you, mate. Shout out to Beardy. Yeah. So I guess now for once, hashtag blame Sinjo is for real. Because in the past it was all, yeah, it's made it come back finally.
As it should be. Here we are, moving forward. People, sometimes human error does happen. I don't know if you've ever made a mistake in your life, but these things do happen. So big appreciation to everybody that puts in this work, especially Sinjo. And thank you very much. And congratulations to our friends that made it in. And again, appreciate everybody actually understanding. Take a second to go and understand. But let's move forward with this stream because I'm seeing that people want to get into the results. We have 5 winners that have moved on in this brand new category, GBB23. We're into the producer wildcards right now. We're going to watch them live. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we're good to go. We're not going to waste any more time getting into this right here with our 5 winners. Starting at the 5th place, we're going to watch this together. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1. Winner of the 5th wildcard position here, GBB 2023 producer, is in 3.
Yo.
Hey.
Big shoutouts and tricks.
Can you turn the volume up a little bit? Hideful. Thanks, mate.
Entering someone's unknown planet. Landing started. Push your trolley.
Astonishing. It is just astonishing. Crazy.
That is crazy. I'm gonna go right off that, Beardy Man, because you have a second here with us to go and give a reaction, man. How'd that give a reaction, man? Tell me more.
I mean, that is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, the thing is, I think what we could have done with was that we did have, as judges, a thorough breakdown of every single person's MIDI routing, audio routing, the equipment they used. But I found even that to be lacking. For next year, we'll need a list of the software they're using, an explanation of the signal flow and the presets they're using if they're using software. I think like a separate video with a breakdown of how they're doing it, because to try and judge how much the human voice is a part of this is so hard, when like the thing about synthesis is that if you start with one wave, you can transform it within a few moves till you just can't recognize it as what it started as. And yeah, I don't know how he was doing half of that. Like if you told me that was all his voice, I would say sure, and I would believe you. If you told me that none of it was his voice, I would also believe you. There's just no way to tell. So yeah, I mean, but it's really astonishing, like the arrangement there. Like think of what this, the looping part of this competition was like 5 years ago or something, and cut to now. It's just mad what this has become. I mean, that I don't know how you can get much better than this year. Like, if God knows what the standard will be like next year. It's nuts. It's amazing.
Couldn't say it better. Couldn't say it better. And I 100% agree with you, just pushing the limits, and it's beautiful to go and watch. But appreciate your insight on that. Tuneb, you're with us. You want to go and give a little breakdown of your reaction to this wild card? And for those of you that just are tuning in, once again, Antrix qualifying in 5th spot here for this brand new category, GBB 2023 producers. Tuneb, reaction to this wild card, my friend.
I loved it, and I'm very glad because I think I placed him 5th or 6th in my list, so I nailed that. Yeah, it's amazing. What I really like about this one is that there is a bit of everything. There is some voice, which is cool. There is a real song. It's very well produced. He seems to trigger a lot of stuff, but he seems to do it in a very special way. And it's and you, apart from the beginning of the song, you don't really hear any preparation. Everything is smooth, and yeah, it's great job.
100%. That was one thing that you're hitting on there, was like my knowledge of how this was done is absolutely not there. So to watch it being done so smooth, effortlessly, and as you said, not having to go and basically show your work, but it just ends up being this product, mind blowing. So once again, congratulations, Antrix, taking the 5th spot. Let's move on to the 4th spot right here. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1. We're gonna go and find out right now in 3.
What should I do? I don't wanna end on what to do, but I have to lose to you. What should I do? What should I do? Terrible, say it's how it's feeling. Some things I'm start to feel when I am not afraid. Swore from the eldest from the taken from my brain. So badly, powers can hear it up and not complain. Who knows where I'm going? Can I be best friend?
System slow activating. You take control of your brain and your system. So stay tuned. Cause it is some pretty cool move.
just ending. It threw me off.
Yeah, same here. But big congratulations, taking fourth spot. We have Oxygenic. Let's go with first Tioneb. I'm going to let you go first on this one here, sir. Thoughts on this wild card and reaction to it?
When I first heard this one, I could not believe that the beat was homemade, was mouth made, and we had to ask him. And in fact, he does his beat with a silent recording, which means that as he is doing the sound, you can't hear it, but then you hear it when it goes into the loop. So this is what it does, and the quantity of plug-in and the level of geekiness that he has makes it really sound like a fully produced beat, and it just makes it on the spot, and this is amazing. And and everything is smooth. There is no preparation at all. Like everything goes as a real song or track, and I really loved it. I think I placed him third, so it's good.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Oxygenic, right there. I'm going to go and see Beardy Man. You with us for a second?
I'm right here and still just awed by that. It's ridiculous. And yeah, like Tioneb was saying, on the like judges WhatsApp group, that there was like extensive debate about this, because some people were like moving for like a disqualification or something because they didn't, it was witchcraft, they didn't understand how this was happening, and like, you know, and other people were saying, well, it's like how can you score something where clearly all the preparation is done ahead of time in terms of the sequencing and the arrangement, because he's barely moving, you know. So like, you know, he's got that one tipper pedal and he presses a couple of buttons, and the rest of it he's just standing there with sunglasses on. But what comes out is this incredible odyssey, this like amazingly produced track, and it is all his voice. And yeah, he sent us a breakdown of how he did everything, and there was much rancor and debate about what we thought about it and everything. Like at the end of the day, like I think it's a sea change for looping and beatboxing. Like I'm really personally just like awed by it and just so excited to be alive at this time. Like the world's pretty crazy right now, but this is an amazing thing that's happening. Like, you know, it shouldn't be possible, but it is. It's amazing. Ridiculous.
I really want to jump in here. Sorry to do this to you, Beardy, but a lot of the younger guys, I don't know if they know this, but I mean, Beardy Man is probably the pioneer, one of the biggest pioneers of this area of beatbox production. And to hear you say these words that you've been saying in the stream, for me, it's just like, it brings a tear to my eye, man. It's beautiful, because it's crazy that this is where we're at now. And for you to say things like, I don't understand how this person is doing this, for me, it blows my mind. So it shows the level of how crazy what's going on is.
Well, we do know how he's doing it, and it's,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. I think it would actually be good to explain to everyone what these competitors are actually doing to do this, because I'll be really interested to see what the reaction is from the community to these things and to this category in general. Yeah. Because, you know, I've had times in the past where I've been doing things which are incredibly complex and they don't sound like beatbox anymore, even though they are. And I'm always kind of wondering, should I explain or should I not explain? Do I just like, am I doing this for me or for them? Like, does it matter to me that it's all my voice? We're really in this murky territory now. So I'd love to hear in the chat what people think about this particular aspect, because judging it is tricky, because you have to, you know, our categories for judging were things like musicality, originality, technicality, but then there's this extra thing about how much of their voice is in the track. And for something like this, it was entirely his voice. It is literally entirely his voice. Yeah. But when we say live production, well, when we say production, surely we should be meaning live production. But there's nothing in the in the sort of judging guide that we were all following which relates to this question. It's like, how much do you regard pre-sequenced sequences to be is that impressive, or is it the opposite? So it's a tough one. I'd love to know what people think in the chat about that, because I'm fascinated.
This is an area that we open up a bit of a Pandora's box, because even we didn't think about the extent of what was going to happen. And when we said live production, you kind of assumed, yeah, okay, but there is that loophole where you are performing it live, everything's sampled live, it's live performance, but then there's this element of pre-programming with the MIDI and with arrangements and stuff like that. So we have to have a longer discussion. As we said before, this is a new category, a new area, so we're just learning as we go along. We'll refine the rules, we'll refine the judging criteria over time, and have long chats with yourselves and the artists and the community to try to make this as well-rounded as possible. But yeah, we're in unknown territory, so it's really interesting seeing what's coming out, and it's mind-blowing for sure.
Well, so exactly how he did that was, I believe, the machine, the standalone Native Instruments machine, doing all the sequencing, and he's got one of those Zoya boxes. Yeah, I mean, there should, I think that we should do an explanatory stream where people break down how they did it, because it is fascinating. Maybe
we can find time to do that and bring each artist on to break down their setup and have a geek out session together live on YouTube. That could be interesting.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for these conversations, and it's so interesting to go and see, because as you just both mentioned, it's a brand new category, brand new things, limits are being pushed, and it is a pleasure to go and see that the right people are involved to go and push these limits, and having you guys set it up this way. And like, I do agree with Zinjo that, man, it's crazy to hear you say, Beardy Man, that you're like, your mind's blown by these things, and you're one of the guys that have officially like started this, pushed it, continued to push it, and it's amazing to go and see all these people taking up torches and run in the direction, you know? So appreciate you.
Yay.
Yay. But let's get to the next wild card. In third place, if y'all ready, I'm ready. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1. Coming in third place in 3.
Hey.
Dreams have haunted me for so long now. I'm one, and I'm a shadow of what I could have become. Say goodnight.
is a ritual, 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 ritual. It's time for the cleansing.
Yo, so I gotta jump here on that one. KBA, my man, coming through with the drum and bass. That was sick. Man, I'm so glad I didn't watch these wildcards beforehand. I get the genuine reaction on here. Jeez, that was big. That heavy drop at the end was crazy. I don't want to swear too much on here, but Jesus Christ, mate, killing it. Big ups to KBA, mate. You well deserved placement there.
Let's go. I'm going to go directly. Beardy, thoughts on this wild card, my friend?
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Should I get fine grained? I mean, it's legit music now. Like, no one can say that looping is kind of like just a way of making music. It is the way of making music. Like, if beatbox ends up sounding like that, I don't know. This is an end game, isn't it? For like looping and live production. How can it get better than this? I don't understand what a next level would be beyond the level of these performers. Like,
Someone will find it. Someone will find it.
I mean, well, this is now every bit as good as a produced track that has taken months in the studio. And actually, there's so much work that goes into making it sound like it does. And this isn't even the most detailed of them. But they're all of this quality, you know, in the top, the ones that have made it through. It's insane. Yeah, I have no words. It's just amazing.
Oh, man, I love that. It's like, yeah, I could say one word and say ridiculous, or I can go and get grainy with it and go through all this. But well said, though, I will say. Now let's go to Tioneb. Thoughts on this wild card? Big represent. Give it up for KBA one more time. But Tioneb, your thoughts?
Loved it.
Tioneb, is there a way you can turn up your input gain for your microphone?
Better.
There we go, mate. Nice one.
I loved it. I think this format suits him very well. The composition is amazing. The way he instant programmed the beat is really good, because you can see that he's preparing it, but he does it in a very musical way, and you get right into the track. Then the structure is great. The grain of the sound is really his. It doesn't sound like anything else. I loved it. I'm a big fan.
Agreed. Big fan of KBA. It's a pleasure to go and see him taking third place right here in the wild cards, moving on to GBB23 in the producer section. This brand new category we're talking about, which leads us to our top two. Let's not waste any time. I say the three, y'all say the two and the one. Crowd taking second place in the wild card competition in 3, 2, 1,
Big ups.
Let's go.
Germany representing. So proud of the scene here.
Yeah, man, you guys are just crushing it. Germany's taking their lead in this. They've been pushing forward in the loop station as well. So Let's go to Tioneb first. Reaction to this. Taking second place, we have Chaos.
Very good, very high energy, good, great visuals, great showmanship, a simple setup, but that works really well with a pretty good sound load. This is really high. Yeah, really good.
And just as you said, since comparatively, from an outsider viewer, if you're watching this, if you have this guy Chaos had two, from what I can see, two different pieces of equipment, RC505 paired with. But then if you see someone with a full setup that has like 6 or 7 devices, did that have any effect in your judging, or was it based on end result, regardless of how many pieces of equipment were used?
It depends on how you use it. If you have a very complex setup, and I feel that you're using it in a very smart way, which means that you don't only rely on these things, but you really create out of it. It doesn't make any difference. But if you have a very simple one and you use it to the fullest, I think it's same. I don't judge based on how many pieces of gears you have, but on how well it sounds and how smart you were to gig that out. So
for example, if someone had a really complex setup but they used it very simply, then maybe in that scenario that would affect your scoring.
Yes. Like if I have the impression that the guy just does and then you get this full orchestra, then no. But if he uses it in a very smart and different way, then it's same. But I've seen guys like I used to see them only with the loop station or one extra thing last year, and I think this extra dimension suits them really well. Like the fact that they can really go deep into the plugins and the triggering and stuff. I think it suits them well, and it really shows their full thing. So it's cool. Really.
Absolutely, man. Well said. And it's absolutely amazing, though, honestly, to go and think about when looping started and everything, where people almost like frowned upon. Oh, you put something on your voice. That's not how your voice was when it got through. You actually put an effect on it to see where it's gone now and been pushed to. And as Beardy Man said, pushed like being a live produced track that sounds just as good, if not better, than somebody spending months in a studio producing a track. And it's crazy to go and see the change. Beardy, do you have a second to go and talk about this wildcard for Chaos?
I mean, I'll be unpacking this in my head for years to come. Like it's like this is very emotional for me, having been like at this coalface of live production for, I don't know, like 20 years or something, and often facing criticism along the way because, oh, that's not really beatbox, oh, that's not really looping, oh, that's not really your voice. And I'm like, no, it is all those things. But I feel like this is a journey that had to happen at the pace that it happened at, with people seeing the growth of looping from this kind of fun pastime to this like augmented reality, like sentient AI madness that is just crazy. It's crazy. I mean, but again, how do you beat this? Like, how do you best this level next year? Or maybe next year we just see like even more entrants which are of this quality, because not everyone in this category was of that quality. Like there were some who obviously weren't going to make the cut, but like there's a lot of people that I'm sad that they didn't make it through, because this is just another way of making music now. And there are some people who like maybe they wouldn't have scored that highly for various reasons, but they made incredible, really tasty music. And yeah, I don't know, what can you say about this? Like the level of the production, the visuals, I mean, it's mental. Like this is a long way from someone standing there with a mic and their mouth and nothing more. It's mad. Amazing.
how do you objectively rank good music is the question, I guess.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I mean, the whole idea of having a competition for music is absurd from the outset. So, like, so long as we go into it with this like healthy dose of, I don't know, skepticism about the whole enterprise of judging music at all, then I suppose, yeah. But I mean, the sonics on this one were phenomenal. Like the mixing was good, and the fact that he's doing it all with the 505, and it's just a 505 and a helix, right? This one. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I think
really
so, yeah.
impressive. Yeah, because like I think Antrix was using Ableton, and that was how he was able to get that level of like intricacy in the arrangement. There was a couple of others using Ableton. Oxygenate was using the Machine standalone. But this is a surprising lack of pre-edited arrangement. So that's doubly impressive that he really was working hard live. One thing I want to say as well, which I was saying to like my like patrons as we were like they were like watching me judge this stuff. And one thing that we kept talking about as like a factor was how long it takes to set up your song. So like this is something that I was kind of disappointed to see growing as a trend in, especially in the loop station category, is taking like 2 minutes to set your loops up, and the first 30 seconds it's just silent recording. And I know that that's become a thing now, but like that's not going to cut it on a stage. Like if you've got like people in front of you, they're going to get really bored if there's silence for 2 minutes. You can't do that. So I would be marking people down for that, and like maybe people would be hating on me for that because this is something that's grown as a part of this community and as part of the use of the loop station, specifically the 505. But in the producer category, there was much less of that because you're able to use whatever equipment you want. And then there's a lot of like, you know, there is silent recording happening, but you've already put a really engaging, really exciting loop in there to hold your interest and keep the tension building. That's the way to do it. So in all these top ones, this is what they've done, is you're still obeying the laws of music and like the laws of people's attention. It's like people are in a crowd in front of you, don't let them get bored, you know? And yeah, so there's a lot that went into why this one is amazing, you know, notwithstanding the virtual production stuff, but as in the like the game engine visuals and stuff, but like yeah, there's enormous amounts of attention to detail about managing the patience of the crowd and the quality of those sonics. He was really into it, so really convincingly into it, like from a performance standpoint. Like a lot of the competitors who perhaps aren't natural performers or don't have experience performing try to kind of phone in a bit of faux machismo or whatever to try and seem engaging, and it just doesn't look great. But this guy's really into it, man. Like he's really feeling it, like abundant confidence. Yeah, it's really hard to fault this. It's just amazing. Yeah,
man, well said, and you guys heard it here. Beardy Man preaching that truth. Word. Also, I love the fact that it's Beardy Man as image as SpongeBob, scary SpongeBob, giving out all this knowledge. Excellent.
Yeah, it's a serious thing.
I love it. We've waited. We sat down. We've watched 4 wildcards right now. We're coming to the first place right here, live and direct on Swissbeatbox. We're talking about GBB23 producer wildcard winners announcement right here, live and direct. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1. In first place, taking it home, rounding out our top 5 in 3.
Boy. So happy for this.
I'm a monster. Monster.
Vision full of pain, I don't know what it means. This guilty feeling haunting me inside my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I'm going on, 'cause I fear the monster I become. Fear the monster I become.
Let's start testing now. Let's begin. Continue testing now.
The death awaits. The death awaits. The death awaits.
Yo, I'm so proud of this man. You mind if I jump in and say a couple words, Scotty?
Go ahead, my friend.
Let's hijack the stream a little bit. I've been living in, a lot of people might not know this, I'm half German and I live in Berlin for the last 10 years. And it's been such an honor to watch this German community grow. I've been a part of pretty much every German champ since I was here. And to see the evolution the last couple of years is astounding. I feel so privileged to be here in this country watching these guys grow. I hang out with a lot of these guys behind the scenes, and they're all such lovely human beings. And to see them dominate this year like crazy. Just to give you an idea, you'll see it on the Instagram, but number 6 ranked is Friedon. And number 7th ranked is Watt, both Germans. So of the top 7 in producer category, 5 of them are Germans, which is crazy. So these guys are killing it, not just in this category, in other ones as well. But yeah, I just want to say big ups to the German community. I love you guys. You guys are killing it. And big ups to Saijo for hitting first place. Well deserved.
Go ahead and give a little special shout out. Give some German to the people that are watching out there. Give some German, a nice
Jetzt muss
German
ich Deutsch
message.
reden. Alter, was geht? Ey, vielen lieben Dank, die geilen Videos, Digga. Das ist, ja, jetzt ist plötzlich der Deutsch geht aus dem Fenster raus. Es war richtig geiles Level dieses Jahr. Die deutsche Szene killt es. Ich sehe euch dann in Japan. Oder in Berlin halt. Deutsche Meisterschaft bald. See you.
My man. Well said. Not sure what you said there, but well said regardless. Tioneb, thoughts on taking first place right here, Saijo, taking that home, first place in the wildcard competition. Give a little 1-2.
In German?
If you can, I'd be impressed. Go ahead.
O Tannenbaum, wie grün sind deine? No. It's amazing. This wild card, I saw it and I knew that it was in my, at least my top 3 or 4 or 5. It was one of the best ones that I heard, because it goes really deep into the use of the effects. The transitions are amazing. It's very clean, but still it's human. You can hear the voice, you can hear the use of the voice, and it's, to me, it sounds like the perfect what a solo loop wildcard could sound like if it was like flawless. So I think it's and it's really refreshing to see that the 2 best guys are 2 guys who just used 2 devices, and I think it's a really interesting thing to see that. But I really love this one. It was definitely one of my faves. Yes.
Agreed, man. It was crazy to go and watch. And actually, for a quick second there, Tuna, you mentioned it right there. How do you feel about your judging, not talking for anybody else, but specifically your judging, when you can hear the voice pierce through and actually understand that it's the voice that is triggering these things, that is producing these things, and it's apparent in the actual final product that is made? How did that affect your judging when you listen to it comparatively to somebody who, if you didn't see the video attached to it, perhaps you wouldn't have any idea that a voice was making all of it?
The thing is, if I can perceive that everything is done with the voice, it's not even if you only hear the effect and the synthetic sound, if I can see that it's smartly triggered by the voice, it's not going to go down. It's just that, to me, if the voice doesn't pierce through, there is kind of a coldness to it, and it's not going to touch me the same way. So maybe 2 guys who will do the perfect things, but one of them I can hear the voice pierce through, and the other one less. Maybe on the artistic point of view, I would be more inclined to give more points to the guy where the voice pierced through, because the voice still, it's something so warm. So if you forget about it in a beatbox competition, even if it's loop station with effects and stuff, I think you still gotta hear it, because it's the main thing. So but still, if you only do a really synthetic performance, but it does not sound cold, I see it as a very, I will just say that, to me, it's more work before than as soon as you present it, because making the voice pierce through, like Saijo does, requires preparation before, but a lot of showmanship and mastering on the moment when he records it. So there is more risk, and still it's very warm and very clean and very big. So it's really good.
I'd love to add to this, because from I've been talking about this for years with Loop Station, and I think we've talked about it as well together when we've been working together, TUNEB. But it's not, for me, it's not just the creative side, it's a technical side. Like when you're producing and you're not giving space in the frequencies for the voice to cut through, it should be sitting over the beat. And instead of, very often, especially when people are just using the Loop Station, because of the way that the inbuilt master compressor works and pushes everything together, especially when the bass kicks in, and that voice gets muffled. And like when I'm mixing a lot of those kind of videos, I have to boost that upper mid-range frequency to get the voice cutting through. It's a mixing thing, so it's really important to leave space in your frequency balance and in your production for the voice to really sit well in the track. If you make a track where I can't understand what you're saying, you've got beautiful vocals, beautiful singing, nice lyrics, everything's great, but I can't really make out what you're saying because it's muffled by all the frequencies. If I was judging, which I did in the past, you'd lose big points for that because you're not able. It's a big part. You don't hear a pop song where you can't understand the lyrics. It's one of the keys of it is it's got to be clarity in it. So yeah, I just want to back that up a bit with what you're saying there.
Of course, but when I say voice, I'm not especially speaking of the main lead voice. I'm also when I hear the voice peer through, it's the voice piercing through the production, but even in the loops and even in the grain and the textures of the loop, it's cool.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's not just the mixing, but
so we're talking a little bit about different topics. Sorry. I also need to clarify something I said before. What is not from Germany? He's from Czech. Sinjo did another hashtag blame Sinjo. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, my bad. I guess I get 2, not just 1. Yay. But yeah,
one might be a little bit less.
Big ups what? one might be a little bit less of an issue than the other one. Yeah, maybe.
A little bit. Let's go to our good friend Beardy Man with comments on first place Sideshows Wildcard. If you can give us some insight, it would be much appreciated, sir.
I mean, there's something absurd about the idea of judging music. So my daughter's here. She's a member of the new generation who will be growing up in a world where there is a producer category in this world. I've dreamt of this for many years. I've dreamt of this for years. The idea that people would kind of do this competitively was just, I don't know. For years, I was kind of told, people don't want to bother with trying to go through the hardship of designing a system which allows you to produce music on the fly using your mouth. That's just like it's a ridiculous thing to do. It's a ridiculous way to make music. But to see what's happening with the top, I'd say like the top 10 are incredible. Yeah, you can. The top 10 are incredible. So there's some like glaring omissions, I think, from this, where some of my favorites, the other judges didn't necessarily agree with me. Like LFO is amazing. I think Freedons was really good. Mr. Esua is one of my favorite songs that I've ever heard. I think I listened to it like 5 times. I would bump that just whenever, not just like as a competitive thing. I think this is so huge for music, and I'm so fascinated by what people are going to think about not just like our judgments as judges, but about this category in general, because it feels like this is, like I say, just some sort of end game for looping and live production. Is it even looping anymore? Like, yeah, I guess the top 2 were using just the Helix and the 505. But there were people using Loopy Pro, which is this like up and coming, iPad based thing where you can just rock up with an iPad and absolutely smash it, and it fits in your backpack. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is incredible. As for like,
how much did they pay you for that little plug? Yeah,
for Loopy, nothing. Like, no, I mean, I'm
messing with you, mate.
Yeah, no, I know. No, because like actually the 505 is like very much bedded in this community. And actually none of this would be happening if it wasn't for the 505. Like the 505 is this venerable, live production thing, but it's kind of creaking under the pressure of what people are now trying to pull off. That was not true 5 years ago, but it's starting to show its limitations, and people are now starting to break out of them. I just think this is just another level now. It's just it's insane. The mixing of these the top 10 competitors, they had unbelievable mixing, unbelievable, fully mastered tracks just being spat out live, unbelievable amounts of work put into the production of the video, let alone the tune. you know, these are good lyrics. These are well sung, well judged arrangements and top lines. It's real music. This isn't like, look what I can do. It's all from my mouth. This is real music. This is a huge moment for music and music production in general. I'm so honored to be a part of it.
Well said, man. Quick question for you too. Like, I don't even know, 13, 14, 12, whatever it was years ago. You had a classic video. I think it was Underbelly is there.
Oh, the Underbelly video.
Yeah, but like, you were set up on there to go and see what you have to go and, as you said, lug around and like set this thing up, and it's this spaceship looking setup that you have to go and get to where people are now, that you say could go and just do it from an iPad. How does it feel watching this progress as you started now to where we are, and just be a part of pushing this forward into competition? My question is just like, how does it feel to be a part of that? You've kind of touched on it, but just how does it feel to go and see it come to fruition right now in this competition?
Kind of like seeing your child leave home for university. It's like a big sort of epic, proud moment. But it's also very like edifying for me, very validating, because multiple times when I've been doing this kind of stuff, I've thought, well, maybe I'm insane for wanting to do this. And now seeing, and I'm like, oh no, I wasn't insane. It was always a great idea. And now, like, from this year onwards, this part of this competition is going to just be blowing people's minds, and it's going to drag people in who aren't even into beatbox into this world. It's another kind of vector for people to get involved in, you know, vocal music. Yeah, it's astonishing. It's really hard to kind of predict what the future is going to look like for music and music production, but I'm just really honored to be a part of it. It's really cool.
And we're honored to have you a part of the stream, part of this whole thing moving forward. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I appreciate your time. Beardy Man right there, getting that words of wisdom in.
Biggity booyah.
So I was wrong again. It's not Czech, it's Czech Republic. Sorry, guys. Shout out to what? I messed it up even the second time. The awkward silence is very fitting. It's perfect.
Yes. No, I'm going to leave you to dry on that one. But right here, live and direct, once again, thank you everybody for tuning on in. You've watched the live stream right here with some of our judges that were present for it, of the GBB 2023 producer, the Wildcard Winners Edition. We had a top 5, and make sure you go and check out at Swissbeatbox, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Follow it up. But let's go through and just want to say a big thank you, big shout outs, make some noise for our good friend Sinjo being a part of the stream. Thank you so much, brother. It's good to see your face. And again, all the work that you put in for setting this up, pushing it forward, having the discussions, you put in a ton of work. So it's really appreciated. Obviously, make some noise for Sinjo one more time.
Thank you, bro. I just want to say big shout out to everyone who entered this new category. As Beardy Man said, I also feel like this is a little bit my baby in terms of Swissbeatbox. The internal decision to split this, I had a lot to do with the process here, and it's I feel very close to my heart. So it's really amazing to see all these guys come through and make such amazing videos and incredible music. So shout out to everyone who took part in this, and we love you all. And thanks for being so patient and understanding with my mistakes. I'm going to leave it at that, though. We're done talking about those. And big ups to you, Scotty. I love having you here and taking us on this journey and being the best host that there is. And thanks, Beardy and Tioneb and all the other judges for being here and putting up with me, talking with you guys every day and figuring out the scores and going back and forth with the judge criteria and helping out in every way possible. I love you guys, and I'm going to shut up now. Bye.
Sinjo right there, live and direct. Tioneb up next, my main man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the judging system here, taking your time and your expertise as well, pushing the scene as you have throughout all these years. Before we jump off with you, I just want to go and give a quick second. Tell people about the Florida Beatbox Battle. Where can people go and watch that coming up? I know it's a little bit in the future, but I've been there. I was actually able to go and watch it live one year. Incredible. So go ahead and tell the people here.
Thanks, man. So Florida Beatbox Festival. It's now a festival, a two days festival. It will be March 31st and April 1st. at Le Florida, which is a venue in the south of France in a city called Agen, where I live. And this year it's going to be concerts for on the 31st. We're going to have Rogue Wave. We're going to have a special secret project with a famous beatboxer and instruments. We are going to have a special improvised battle. And then on Saturday night, we're going to have the Florida Beatbox battle with Napalm, Stitch, Vino, Biscuit, Pac-Max, Tunecino, Dan, thank you, and Hardzell. Yes, so it's going to be really, really cool. And yeah, and so you can book your ticket at the thing, the how do you
Dash
Florida, so LE-Florida FLORIDA.org. Yes. Thanks.
right there. And once again, as somebody who can attest to it, go and check out the festival. Absolutely incredible. And thank you so much, Tio Neb, once again for being a part of this stream and a part of our lovely judging panel. Big it up, Tio Neb.
I can't wait to see all this live. I can't wait. Like, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Thanks, guys.
Rounding off our stream, I want to go and say thank you very much as well. Beardy Man, last words that you want to go and take us out with, anything you want to go and say, except for thank you for you for being here and being a part of this and birthing a generation of crazy loopers and live producers, man.
Take care out there, kids. It's a crazy world. Make some bass lines. Give it a man.
Daddy Beardy.
Yo, take care of the kids. Make some crazy bass lines. Big ups once again, Beardy Man, the one, the only. It's great to go and have you part of this, and lovely. Can't wait to go and see you in Japan and see what you're going to bring to the table as well, man. Looking forward. And again, I just saw too, you just did some, I believe, freestyles that came out with Harry Mack. That stuff was crazy. Go on YouTube, people. I'm telling you right now, that's sitting there watching. Go on YouTube, check it out. Crazy videos there with Harry Mack and always putting out new stuff. So big ups to the one, the only, Beardy Man.
I want to say one more thing. Sorry to take away from that moment.
What happens if I just say no?
Yeah, okay, we'll just say no. We'll just move on.
All right, so right here. Of course, you have time to talk.
That was genius. While we're on the point of beatbox events, next weekend is the East German Beatbox pre-qualifier. So we have it's in Berlin. So if you're in Berlin and you want to see some of the best beatboxers in Germany, you've seen some of them on here, and then you can come see them live. So go to Beatbox Germany. You'll find all the information there on Instagram and on YouTube, I'm sure, as well. And yeah, I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's going to be great. I'm going to be doing the sound, and we're going to have a great time. I think I'm DJing the after party as well, so it's going to be sick.
Doom. And
yeah, and
you want to go and
thank you, Scotty, for having us, and thanks to all the judges and the rest of the Swiss Beatbox team. We've got Juliana Hideful handling the stream. We've got JWoww behind the scenes. We've got Pac-Max behind the scenes. Papuni, who couldn't make it, of course. Yeah, there's so many people putting in a lot of hard work. And yeah, thank you so much for being there with us and helping us along the way, guys. Scotty, over to you. I'm done now. I know I've talked enough.
Thanks, man.
Time. No. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been live streams, checking out our wildcard winners of the producer, brand new category. And at the end of the day, the best thing that's coming out of this is a lot of beautiful new music for people to listen to. So congratulations to all our winners, top 5. Check out the Instagram, check out Facebook, check out YouTube. And at the end of the day, call your friends and family. Tell them you love them. Most important thing you can do. This has been another Wildcard Wild Stream coming at you live and direct on Swissbeatbox. Big up to all our judges. Thank you very much. Winners, check your emails because you're going to be getting an email that you have to go and make sure you subscribe to, or at least respond to, saying that you acknowledge that you've moved on. We'll see you live in Japan. Go out there, be a good friend. Make some crazy bass lines, kids. Till next time, much love, everybody. And that's time.